Hello and welcome. My name is Marc Blatstein, the physician founder of Physician Pre-Sentence Report Service. This YouTube is going to be regarding your narrative. And your narrative is this is your story. It is what brought you to this point in your life that caused you to break the law. And judges all across the country are in agreement with one thing. They want to talk to you. They want to meet you. And they are going to take the time at your sentencing hearing to talk to you. And so this meeting that you're going to have at the sentencing hearing can change your life. And this is as it's the first and only time that you're going to have this opportunity, you really need to change your narrative. Now, what is the narrative? The narrative is your story. So right now, what is a narrative? I'm going to try and simplify it for you here. Nike has a narrative. The narrative is about their sneakers, and you see it on all their commercials. Tesla has a narrative. It's their story. It's about all of their cars. Even TikTok, it's been in the news through Congress, and they have their narrative, and you're watching this right now on TikTok. And so the narrative that's about you right now has been given out by the Department of Justice, and it's your indictment. And you have to change that narrative because that narrative has been released to the World Wide Web in the form of the indictment, and it's been read by your colleagues, friends, family, possibly the judge. And if you don't change it, that it will be what the judge reads when he gets your pre-sentence report. And so you need to do your best to change that narrative. Otherwise, when you get to prison, that's going to be all they read in your pre-sentence report. And so that has to be that is your brand, and you need to change that brand of you at this current time. And that's going to take every inch of possibly weeks to months. And you should have, for the most part, between the guilty hearing and your pre-sentence interview, about 3 months to draft a narrative. And after that 3-month period of time, and it doesn't matter how long it is, but you should have a distilled version where you have accepted responsibility for your actions. You have remorse for what occurred, and you've also understood that you're responsible for the victim's pain that you have inflicted. And this is all very important because you may not feel that you are a criminal, but once you are guilty, the system does. And so this narrative will be what follows you into the courtroom. And the judge needs to see that you have come from after pleading guilty, that why have you pled guilty, and that you have accepted remorse, as I said. And what is your plan to not reoffend? So in addition to the narrative, which you can go to my website, that's a whole separate YouTube, but you need to have a reentry type of plan because the judge is going to ask you, what's going to be your plan not to reoffend? The judges don't want to see you in their courtroom. I mean, for transparency's sake, yes, I'm a practicing physician, but I too was convicted of a felony a little under 20 years ago. I'm grateful for the support of colleagues and medical deans where my license was restored in full in 2010. But I've been through this, and you're determined the time that you are incarcerated is going to be temporary. And so this reentry plan, I didn't know any of this. I was not familiar with the terms, the personal narrative, reentry plan, the allocution, which is this conversation with the judge. And so all of this can positively, not guaranteed, but it can impact potentially a reduction in your sentence I'm not saying that it will, but with an appropriate narrative where you have expressed remorse, understood that you've created victims, this will be read by other stakeholders, which will be in the once you get into prison, the case managers that will have tremendous discretion over the possibility for you getting released earlier through the First Step Act and Second Chance Act. I hope you have found this helpful. I appreciate you taking the time to listen. Please take this with the seriousness that I'm trying to deliver it. You can engage me or someone else, but definitely engage someone. And I hope you found this helpful, and I'm grateful you've taken the time to listen. Thank you.